They befuddle that Robin Hood right back to our hand. You know what we're going to do? We're going to say we didn't even want to play Robin. What we meant to say is we're playing Morph.
NANI?!
This is the Emerald Steel discard hard counter. This is also Emerald Steel, but it's got real big bodies on the board. It's got a Robin Hood, Beast, Hercules, Tinkerbell, Cinderella. Everything can be shifted onto Morph. So that's the green part of the deck. There's only 4 green cards. There's this one hidden Belle, hidden Archer as a little surprise. But everything else is steel. There's 51 steel cards here. There's 9 emerald cards. The 9 emerald cards mostly right here with one little surprise Belle. There's 9 uninkable cards, which all of our characters are inkable except for the Belle. The one random thing, and then all the other uninkables come in form of removal, which is good for us. Removal is good. This is how you counter the other Emerald Steel discards. This is the bodies that you want. You want Cinderella, she's normally ink. Beast gives you the card draw. They're not going to be able to answer it. There's no locations, but that's okay, because we got some big bodies on board, and we're going to shift into this mean Hercules, which has resist 2. This Cinderella has resist 2. These bodies stick on board. So we're going to hopefully get paired up against some green steel and teach them some lessons. This is the deck that I went against in the Rockstar Stitch tournament that I got 8th in. And it just was a huge hard counter to my own green steel. So that's why we're trying to learn it. We're trying to play it. See what's up.
This is what we learned in this video. Number 1. Shift Hercules cost 4. It's not a shift 3, but it's still pretty good. The shift cost is the same as Tinkerbell, but Hercules is kind of cool. Number 2, some players are wising up to befuddle on the draw. So if you're on the draw and you're playing purple, it's probably best to try to mully for a befuddle. It kind of ruins the tempo, especially against like a merfolk or something. I'm not playing the merfolk in this deck, but I'm saying, like, if you're on the draw, you're playing purple, you probably want to befuddle their merfolk. You feel, you jive, you dig. Turn 7, be prepared. Is still sicko mode. That's the last thing. We know it. You know it. Turn 7, be prepared. It's still there. It still happens every time.
We get paired against green purple, which is a really good deck against emeralds. But this one has the bodies on board. It's a 3 shift on the morph, so we're really looking for a morph line here. We don't want any Benjas or any of this. We're just looking for the morph line. Right? I think she might be better for the morph line than Robin. So we can discard their whole hand. We get the morph. There's 2. There's a Robin. Then all 3 morphs. Not the best thing that we want to see, but that's okay. We can go ahead and... Well, ink Hercules here, that kind of reveals that we're doing something weird. And then we'll play a Robbity-Bobbity and pass the turn. They're going to think that we're going to go for the Robin Hood line, but we're actually going to go for a surprise Belle. Sadly, I think we might have to ink a morph here. Or the snake. They befuddle that Robin Hood right back to our hand. You know what we're going to do? We're going to say we didn't even want to play Robin. What we meant to say is we're playing Morph. And then we pass the turn. Turn 3, we'll be able to shift Belle, which quests for 3, does some massive damage. We'll see if they befuddle us again. That'd be crazy moves. They ink Chain Box followers. So let's see what else they got. It's an Ursula. They discard a song, but guess what? We ain't got no songs. We got bodies on board. They're looking at our hand and saying, oh gosh, oh gee willikers, we're gonna ink our Smee. And then you already know that we're shifting our Belle. And Belle shift gets to go on a little questaroonie for 3 big ones. There's no befuddling it back, and there's no kickering it. But they can Mim Fox rush it this turn. Then they'd have to discard their whole hand. And that'd be so sad. Because if she dies in a challenge, her ability, Thorny Arrows, when this character is challenged, and the challenging character player discards all cards in their hand. Oh, dude, it's just whenever they challenge. That's crazy. We get a Cindy. My alarm went off. If we ink that, we can put out 2 morphs. And they're not going to know what hit them. Because there's no way that they can grab your swords next turn. Here we go. Questing for another 6. If we pull an ink, we can shift Cindy. And this deck is good to go. They ink a goat. Love to see it. Chernobog's followers, they're not going to be able to... ooh, there's a Cinderella target, a.k.a. Ursula. We do get the ink. Here comes the Bad News Bears. And then you already know that Cinderella gonna punk it. And it's just over for this deck. We're already 2 sicko mode. Next turn we get to quest for 7 if we want. It's stomping. You saw how fast that was. They quested out with the Flynn. They're also getting pretty high up on the lore. But we got some crazy business on board. If they play some merfolks here, we're going to have to answer with Cindy doing some disruption. But hopefully that's not the case. Having a Floodborn to shift morph would be sick. If we get like a Robin Hood shift here, it'd be crazy. They befuddled the morph, so they foiled it. Then we just put them right back, morph and Robbity Bobbity. And then we do our thing. We just quest it out. We're at 15 with game on board. We could have taken their Flynn there, but we're not too scared of their like Mim Fox doing anything because it could take out Belle, but they'd have to discard 3 cards. They quest it, and then they concede the game. This deck makes other Emerald decks very sad. The deck list is in the description if you want to try it out. It breaks them. Here we go again. Here's another hard counter to the Emerald Steel. You get paired against the same guy, I think. General MC. Good luck, buddy. We get to go first, which is detrimental to them. Grab your sword, shift Robin Hood. Ew, yuck. Don't mind if I do. I think we're going to go ahead. Oh, we kind of want that for Ursula. That's pretty good for the shift 3 Ursula. Bucky can be our first ink. Looks like we like this board. If they befuddle our Robin, guess who's coming right back out anyway? It's Morph. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and put out 2 shift targets for Robin Hood. And then it's over for them. Mr. Bucky, welcome to the ink. And out comes the Robbity Bobbity. And we pass the turn. An undeniable deck here. Especially getting a Cinderella on board. They ink Befuddle, good news. And they play a Cursed Merfolk, bad news. We get the Bell again, incredible value. We're going to ink our Hook and play our Morph. And then we go on a little quest. A questy doodle for 1 big one. You can see a snake here, which is a high probability. A high robability. Because you know Robin Hood. They ink the Ursula. Which is too bad. We kind of wanted to Zeus it. And then they befuddle our very own Morph. Tinkerbell is such a detriment to them. 4, 3, 5. I think we gotta get rid of the Tinkerbell though. What would we discard? Grab? Should we just get out Robin Hood now? We gain 2 lore and lose 1 card. We can lose grab and be fine. And then they want to be able to mim Fox. I think we like that. We'll lose grab your swords here. But we gain 2 lore, and then they're denied that. Extra lore next turn, and then we pass. The Inca has set my heart. And for 2, it's Ursula, and that gets rid of our Zeus, which we were planning on using for their Ursula when they play it next. So we get to fire the cannons, which doesn't help us now. So we're going to go ahead and play our Morph, quest your boy, and pass the turn. We're only at 3 ink, which isn't the best. I'll be honest, it's not the best. Cloud Kicker bounces our Morph back to the hand. They really don't want us going nowhere. I think we're going to ink Morph here and send it with a fire the cannons onto this Merfolk. Ooh, Cindy. If I do that, I can still play Morph. That's okay with us. There's Morph, and there's a fire the cannons. And then Robbity Bobbity, you already know he takes out that thing. He gains 2 lore, and then Madam M can still not take him out. He could take him out if he double challenges and do it with Kit, but then he can't bounce it. It's too good. They ink the Ursula, love to see it, and play a Flynn Rider, the rogue outlaw who stole the crown jewel from the prince and princess after their daughter went mysteriously missing. We shift the bell, and then I think we're going to ink your boy here. So if we get a beast or something, we could play it next turn. We do go for the attack. Now we're in Madam Mim Fox territory, but that's okay because we got another target for him there, which I guess they could take out because they're not going to have any cards in hand, especially if they ink and play a card. They ink, and do they play the Fox here? They quest it out. And you already know. Oh, it's a genie. Incredible. We'll take 2 cards back. A Benja and a Morph. Don't mind if I do. That would make us discard a card. And no thank you. But I guess Genie can take them out now. You yuck. We'll be able to quest for 5 next turn, which puts us to 19. Unless they're able to do some bounce shenanigans. They take out Robbity Bobbity. That lets us draw a card when he is banished in a challenge. We get Jafar Dreadnought. We'll ink, shift. Benja will take Flynn, and then we'll quest for 3. No, we just need to quest. Mother's knows best. Bounces the Morph. Good for them. We get in Ursula, or as I like to call her, Ink. 6 can be Jafar Dreadnought and Morph again. And Benja's going to go on a big old quest. If they don't have an answer for this Morph, we have game on board because this quest for 3 and this quest for 1, and that is a total of 20. So we'll see what they got. They quest for 2. They quest for another 2. That's 12. What do they pull? Something cool? Could it be a Yzma to shuffle me? I think they know we got it. This could probably be a Yzma. Uh-huh. What else you got? It's a Madam Mim Snake, which does not do it. We won the game. We're going to go ahead and shift our bell. We'll quest our bell. And quest our snake for the big dub. There it is. There's 2 in a row. Let's go 3. It's the hard counter. We don't know how it does into Ruby Amethyst. But we know that going against green kind of smacks. We get red-blue, so this is going to be a kind of a test. This will be a big test. We get to go first again, which isn't bad at all. We take those. We kind of want to save that for a Rush Queen, but we also kind of want a Floodborn going on. We don't need 3 Robin Hoods. Smee is a pretty good 2-drop against this. Hey, what if we're crazy and just put back 1 Robin Hood, huh? We get a snake. Do we get rid of snake here? Goodbye, snake. And here comes the Robin Hood. Big old pass. Two will be Smee. Unless we get something that shifts for 3. We ink our morph. Here comes Smee. And there is a Questaroonie. That is one big one on the board. We're already 1/20th of the way there. 5%. Magic Golden Flower is kind of a wild item to play. Banish this item, remove up to 3 damage from chosen character. Wow, wow, wow. Here's the Grand Matala. We do have a Shift Hercules line, which is so cool. We're going to ink our Robbity Bobbity. And we'll get out the Hercules. As a bodyguard, 1, 2... Not as a bodyguard. They can hit our Robin Hood or Smee and we'd be fine. We don't want them to rush Queen and attack into it. We want our Shift Herc to hit. If you guys ever played a Shift Hercules? Let me know in the comment section. Shift 4, resist 2, a 6/3, basically a 6/5. But a little bit better than a 6/5. They do a damage to our Smee. Ouch, ouch, ouch. It becomes ink for them, but we're already on the road to the Doves. For 2, they could rush Queen still. They ink a Hiram. They got 3. Do we see a Fishbone come in? We do. The number 1, turn 3 for blue. They can go to 5. They can have 7 ink next turn. I just dropped my wife's iPad on the ground. Oh no. It's okay. They ink. They have 1 to play still. Could we see a Popsicle? We don't. Benja could banish that boy, which I think is exactly what we want to do. Benja says, see you later, Fishbone. Do we ink a little Morphsy Doodle here? They have Be Prepared potential. I think we do ink a little Morphsy Doodle here. And Smee he's gonna pass away, but that's okay. He got us plenty of lore. Goodbye, Mr. Smee. Welcome to the banishment. When you're banished, you go over here to the skull. That's where Smee lives now. The skull. They play a Popsicle, lets them draw a card. Play a Hiram Flappersham, banish the Popsicle, get to draw 2 more cards. There's another alarm. I have a tournament to go to in about 3 hours. But who's gonna edit this video if I do that? We have Grab Your Swords, Shift Herc. That's pretty cool. There he comes, Shift Hercules, but they're in Be Prepared territory, so we're scared. We're big scared of the Be Prepared here. Not even gonna lie. Looks like they're going on a little quest to banish their flower and draw 2 more cards and get the exact card they need. They ink Tamatoa. They're at 7 ink now. Do we see it? We do. Too bad. So sad. They have 7 ink and we have 4. We're not in the best situation. We don't even have the morph line for the Cinderella, so it just goes right into the ink and we pass turn. Probably could have inked Baboom there, but Cinderella's pretty far away, especially if they like Dragonfire it, which they probably run. One jump ahead, look at them go. They're firing the lasers. The only thing that we got going for us is we have 13 lore. That's all we got going for us. A Judy Hops. That's an aggro machine. We get Robbity Bobbity, which don't mind if I do. Welcome to the battlefield, Robbity Bobbity. They play a Madame Medusa, which exactly counters our Robbity Bobbity. And this is where red-blue really shines, is late game board control. No matter what I play, they're going to be able to find a way to get rid of it, especially with the card draw. It's weird that they didn't keep the Maui Fishhook to be able to draw with Hiram and stuff. But that's okay. They got other stuff going for them. Here is our Floodborn. And do we banish anything? Do we ink it so we have 6? That gets us closer to a Cindy. 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 4. 4, 4, ew, yuck. We ink Baboom. And pass the turn. Exactly countered. The Medusa, it's shining. And we know that they probably got a dragon, a Maleficent dragon up in here. We do 2 damage to everybody. And we're not going to ink Hercules, because if we pull Cinderella, then we'll be able to ink Hercules. But if we pull like a damaging spell, we're going to need to put Hercules on the board too. There's Gaston. He gets to look at the top 3 cards and put 1 into his hand. We're getting countered by our counter deck. They quest Medusa, and quest the officer, optimistic officer. Yeah, we play out both here. And we pass the turn. What do they have? They get 7. That puts them to 19, and they probably have a removal this turn. And it's over for us. The reign of terror of the Emerald Steel counter comes to an end. So Emerald Steel counter, really good against green. Really good against green steel. Really good against green purple. There is the dragon. We called it. We knew that they had some crazy things. But other stuff like red-blue and red-purple, this deck probably can't keep up with the amount of control that they get late. Because there's not much card draw. So if your locals is filled with green steel, deck list in the description to go ruin some people's days. Here's a Bucky. And do we quest to go to 14 or do we punish Medusa? Dude, we're going to take out that rabbit to lunch. Judy Hops, welcome to the banishment area. Oh. And then that's it. We pass turn. And it's all ogre now. Thanks for watching. Fam Jam. Like and subscribe.